everybody, welcome back to SourceFed Nerd. I'm Steve Zaragoza.
And I'm DJ Woolridge, and glad to have you.
Yeah, I agree with that. Big news today for Marvel fans as they have announced a new deal with Netflix that will produce 4, count them 1, 2, 3, 4 new series for the on-demand service.
The series will start with a reboot of Daredevil in 2015 and will be followed by Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage. And because this is Marvel, we'll all build to one big crossover miniseries called Heroes for Hire.
Nope, actually, DJ, that's not it. It's called The Defenders.
What? So it's basically just a street-level TV Avengers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I first heard this announcement, I was all excited because I thought it was going to be like Heroes for Hire, which is one of my favorite superhero teams. And now it's just like, it's more, like it's cool.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's more of the same just on Netflix.
Well, but I think it's just a way to introduce everybody to these characters. You know, you can't jump right into the universe and people are like, what the fuck is going on? You got to give the origins to all these people and kind of slowly push them into this universe.
Yeah, I guess, and it's cool that we're seeing more of the street level heroes. And unlike S.H.I.E.L.D., which has to play all family friendly, being on ABC, with Netflix, I'm not saying people, you know, these guys are going to be dropping F-bombs while they're punching supervillains, but maybe it can be a little grittier, a little rougher on the edges.
I really hope so, because we've seen with Arrested Development that they can throw out curse words and they don't get bleeps and stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that we need curse words in our superhero shows or movies, even though if it's well placed, I welcome it, but I do want to see a grittier kind of like superhero world.
Exactly, and especially when you watch S.H.I.E.L.D., like when you're watching a show about a clandestine undercover agency, they don't just want a bunch of fun for the whole family, and it's like when you're talking about characters like Daredevil and Luke Cage, these are street level guys, they're rougher, so maybe just a little grittier, maybe?
Yeah, and I feel like the guys that are working on these shows, they have like a lot of source material to pull from, and they also have a lot of like stuff to look back at, like Heroes, and even now S.H.I.E.L.D., and kind of look at where people have been going wrong with superheroes on TV, and kind of like skew it into an area that we haven't really seen before, which I think is a great opportunity. And I'm curious to see who is actually involved in the writing aspects of these shows.
I've been kind of critical, but here's the things I'm excited about.
Okay, let's hear it.
One, I like these characters. These are cool characters, and one thing this has over S.H.I.E.L.D. right off the bat is S.H.I.E.L.D.'s been very much like, oh, it's all people you don't know.
Yeah.
We know in the Daredevil series, we're at least getting Daredevil. And we know in the Luke Cage series, we're at least getting Luke Cage. We're actually getting superheroes this time, which is awesome.
Yeah, well, I'm curious, because Daredevil is a pretty widely known superhero, and we had the Ben Affleck movie, which is just awful.
Which we all pretend doesn't exist anymore.
We just hope, and in fact, I hope this series kind of erases it from history a little bit, and we're like, oh my god, a good Daredevil, because they do have an opportunity to make Daredevil really awesome. Freaking cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not super familiar with the other characters. Like, I know Luke Cage a little bit, but what's up with the other characters?
Well, the other characters, first off, is Jessica Jones, who's kind of more obscure when it comes to the broader pop culture. She was created by Brian Bendis, who's like Marvel's go-to guy. She started out as a superhero and then segued into being more like a private detective, spy type role. And spoiler alert, in the comics she ends up marrying Luke Cage.
Whoa!
Luke Cage came from the blaxploitation era, like Shaft and everything. He was a person that went to prison for a crime he didn't commit, and to get out early, he submitted himself for experimentation, which of course in the Marvel universe gives you powers.
So, okay, that's awesome. And to sum all of this up, we're basically just getting these little tiny series, all based off of these characters individually, that will all end up together in a mini series that just kind of collects them all, which is really cool.
Yes. I was kind of hoping that it was just a bunch of mini series, so it's basically elongated movies. But it looks like it's, for other than the Defenders, it's going to be a more traditional TV format, which the successful ones will get multiple seasons. It's going to be an interesting experiment. Well,
do you feel like they chose some great characters to kind of start off with these little series?
I think so, especially with the street level ones that may not get their own movies per se.
That's the thing.
The other concern I have is like all the continuity heavy stuff that Marvel's putting out, like, will it start turning people off because it's like, well, I haven't seen Thor the Dark World, so I'm not going to check out Daredevil because it connects to this and this way.
Well, I wonder if they're going to do that, because I mean, like, Disney has Marvel now, so I wonder how much Disney has their hands in this thing.
If you watch S.H.I.E.L.D., you know a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but I'm talking about with these Netflix series.
The Netflix ones. Well, I mean, I think they're producing it, but who knows? Like, who knows what the tone is going to be like? It's exciting times to be a comic book fan.
I absolutely agree, DJ. So, guys, since you'll be able to catch all of these series on Netflix, be sure to go to netflix.com/SourceFed, and you'll get a whole free month of instant streaming, and then eventually when this series comes along, you can enjoy that for a whole month. How about that, DJ?
Excitement. Get a leap in this whole Netflix thing while it's still fresh and new.
Yeah, I mean, it's so new, it's like a baby born out of a vagina. I don't know what's going on with Netflix. It's a brand new thing. I want to dig into it. I'd like to go to netflix.com/SourceFed and get a free month just to see what it's all about.
Exactly.
Thanks so much for watching, and if you want to click the like and subscribe button, that would be freaking awesome. And there's a bunch of annotations down here. What do they do, DJ?
Why don't you click them? You can click them and then go to these places like FHP.
I'm Steve Zaragoza.
I'm DJ Wooldridge, and you know what I think Netflix is? I think it smells like the future.
Ooh, the future smells a bit like burnt toast, and I taste a dime in my mouth.
That's the future.